Hello, boys and girls. So today we are going to be working on learning the changing roles of the United States throughout the war from the 30s into giving aid and helping our allies to direct involvement in the war. So if you will navigate to slide 8, and let me go into present mode. We'll chat about this and then you can get started on your assignment. So this is called U.S. Changing World War II Involvement, and we have a red light or a stop light here. And if you just think about the colors of a light being the 3 steps that the United States took toward their involvement in the war, each time taking a step closer to direct involvement, that is actually very similar to the way things happen. So you know that America will typically take the side of not getting involved in war, to stay neutral, to stay isolated, and not to get involved in war. And that is red. So we are going to start out in the 30s on red for 2 main reasons. One, because we had already been in a world war with World War I, and we had seen the damage and destruction and the devastation and the cost of war. And we did not want to go there or do that again. And you saw that with our decision not to join the League of Nations, even though our president was the individual that created and established that as part of the peace treaty of Versailles. So the other reason we didn't want to get involved in World War II is because we were in the middle of a depression, and we had an economic crisis and massive amounts of unemployment. And with problems here on our soil, here on the home front, we did not want to get involved in another world war. When Japan starts taking over what's called French Indochina, which is an area in Southeast Asia, they invade for its resources, such as oil. And of course, America tends to not want a country to invade another country without consent. And so we were like, no, 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 Japan, and Japan did it anyway. And so what we decided to do was to create a trade embargo, which means we basically cut trade, any type of trading with Japan. And we did not send them any type of resources once they made the decision to continue their invasion of Southeast Asia. So over in Europe, we have 2 great allies, one being Great Britain and the other is France. And so Nazi Germany invades multiple countries, taking control. The war starts on September 1st, 1939, when Germany invades Poland. And when they do that, Poland's allies of Great Britain and France declare war back on Germany, and World War II starts. And so Germany will invade France, taking control of Paris, and then they move across the English Channel and start attacking Great Britain by air. And for night after night after night, for many nights, I think it was around 40 nights, they bomb London, and London does not give in, and they persevere, and they win the Battle of Britain, and unfortunately, they're left in ruins. You can imagine the destruction and the fires and the buildings and bridges and how the towns are destroyed, and they're looking to us for help. And it's really hard to turn your back on a friend. So we start giving aid to Britain, and we're going from red, isolated, to yellow, cautiously getting involved by giving aid to our allies. And then we go to full green, green for go, green for go. And that is when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. And Japan bombs Pearl Harbor in response to our refusal to trade with them. And that occurred on December 7th, 1941. It was a Sunday morning in Hawaii at a naval base called Pearl Harbor. And on this Sunday, if you know anything about our military bases, they're active every day, but the one day that they're not as active would be on a Sunday morning. And so Japan suddenly, deliberately, without warning, attacked this Navy base. And the next day, FDR went on one of his radio addresses, and he addressed the nation saying that this would be a date which would live in infamy, which will be forever. And so we sit here today, and we're still talking about the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and that took us into the war. We declare war on Japan on December 8th, 1941, and within several days, by the 11th of December, Germany and Italy are declaring war back on us. So that's how we go from being isolated on red, not getting involved, to cautiously getting involved by giving aid to our allies, to direct involvement in the war, green for go, with the bombing of Pearl Harbor. You will go on to the next slide, slide 9, and your directions are to use slide 8 to help you finish the sentence with at least 8 words or more for each color of your red light. We will talk more in class about the 2 ways that we gave aid through something called the cash and carry policy and the Lend-Lease Act. I think we will watch some clips on those. So you can use your notes and the clips to help you fill in these sentences as needed. And we'll go over these tomorrow. Have a great day.